Every day, 1% better. Do you guys remember when I first rang the gong and I like dented the wall? That's always fun. So thanks for coming, because an email went out that the other offices are not having team meetings, but we are actually on wall, so we had it ready. Usually we have team meetings set up on Monday, but we've just been ahead of the game, so why not have one? So welcome to your team meeting. So our vision is to be the real estate company of choice for agents and their customers. So that is our vision, and you guys know all that. So we'll get right into it. We have, I was like, I don't know what you want me to say about that. I just wanted to do a little highlight. So we have Sue Arnold talking about the Home and Garden Show.
Can you put this on top of that? It's like I had my notes. I'm not sure if that will bug this or not. Oh, yep, it did. Never mind.
Just put it on there.
Meeting's over.
Meeting's over. Don't look. Okay, there.
It's time for the Home and Garden Show. How many of you have purchased your tickets? How many of you have purchased your tickets?
We're going to.
Oh my goodness. If you have not, you better get started, because February 22nd is your last opportunity to buy tickets in order for them to get them to you on time so that you can get them to your clients. Put that on your to-do list of things to do today, please. It's at the State Fair Park. We all know that, right? When does it run? From March 24th to April 2nd, closed on Monday and Tuesday. So it starts on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. There are 30 time slots for us to work our booth. We have one booth this year. You have 2-hour time slots. It will cost you $40. Please sign up. Allison will be sending out Eventbrite, right? Where is she?
Yeah, so there will be a Google spreadsheet to sign up for your time slot, and then you can pay
for it.
Eventbrite. So I'll put all that in.
Eventbrite, perfect. Okay. Let's see. If you sign up for a time slot and you can't make it at the last minute because stuff happens, right? Please find your own replacement. You will not be reimbursed for your time in the booth. And we cannot have nobody in the booth. It's frowned upon. If they come by and they find out there's nobody in our booth, we will not be asked to come back. Okay, so know that. Parking, there would be parking. $10 for parking to get in, and yes, you have to pay for parking, even though you're a special agent. Vehicles are 10, motorcycles are 5. Credit card only, so do that ahead of time if you can. You'll get a QR code to get in. If you don't do that ahead of time, you still may pay for your parking when you get there, okay? Credit card only, okay? But they do want you to purchase that in advance. That credit card parking thing is done by a third party called Honk something. Honkmobile.com. Beep beep. So know that. Don't call me or the GMAR or the Wisconsin State Fair if you can't work your parking QR code. You need to call honkmobile.com because they're the third party working that. Okay. So do that ahead of time. Leave yourself enough time to get that done. Let's see. By the way, for those of us who are moving in and out and taking down the booth, there is no charge for parking during those times. Okay. Let's see. Exhibitor parking is $8 per vehicle. So, oh, where did I get that $10 and the $8? How does that work?
10 is probably the main lot, and 8 is that way back.
Could be.
Yeah.
To receive $8 exhibitor rate pass must be purchased before the show opens. All right,
Between $8 and $10.
but somewhere between $8 and $10, yeah. You will get that QR code, so know that. And here's how the tickets work, for the GMER. So if you're buying tickets, remember that you're probably giving out 2 tickets for every couple, correct? Unless you just got a couple singles, or maybe you got some threesomes or foursomes to hand out too, but know that like if you buy 100 tickets, you're giving 2 per envelope, so you're doing 50 people, right? So if you need 100 people, buy 200 tickets, okay? And then you'll get this like little card and it says, be my guest. And the important part is that I feel on here, it says, enjoy the enclosed prepaid admission voucher for the realtor show with my compliments. That tells them that you paid for this ticket for them. So they don't think you got them free and then you're passing that on to them. You paid for them. They are VIP customers. So when you send out your envelopes, like a lot of times I'll send mine through the printer, and on the bottom I'll put complimentary VIP home and garden show tickets enclosed, so that they know that they're important and they're complimentary. I had to pay for them. Here you go. You're welcome, right? But so this has little hours on the day so that your client knows when they can go. You want to put a little sticky on here that says, I'll be at booth number 906 and Saturday between 12 and 2. Come and see me. Okay. So that's a little something, something. The tickets ordered online are $25 per pack for 100. And that includes 50 of these rack cards. So you get a rack card for every 2, okay? Let's see, I will be picking up the packets. You can customize your tickets, so do that all online at the GMER. Put your name, your telephone number, a website, email address, get that all done, because that comes on your ticket stub. So when they hand that in, they have to fill out their portion. It gets, mailed to you so that you know who cashed in on that. And then I believe it's $4 or $6 per ticket that gets used, that you'll get billed additionally. So you have to pay $25 for 100. And then when someone redeems it, you'll get a bill from the GMER. I think it's $4 to $6 for every one that gets redeemed. Okay, look at like a little spreadsheet that says who showed up. Okay, 3 or 4 weeks after close, you're supposed to get that. I think last year they were really late.
Yeah, it was like
They were really late last year. Oh, it says $5 for each ticket. There we go, $5. So the last day to order tickets will be February 22nd in order to get your VIP tickets to your clients. Any questions as of yet? Yes.
Is there anything being done to upgrade the look of our booth?
Oh, yes, of course there is. Got all kinds of stuff going on. So I have my little flag over here that we recently purchased. Don't have it up yet because we did not get all the pieces. So I have to go and order the pieces. Otherwise I'd have it up here showing you. And we also will be ordering our little tube windsaw with the crazy guy going like this. Everyone do that. Come on, everyone do the crazy guy. There you go. So that will be in our booth too. We'll have electricity, and we're going to put that sign that's downstairs in our booth. It will look very nice. We've got the carpet on the floor from last year. We may order a red tablecloth for tables, so that will be provided. And the stools that we used from last year, I think will be very nice.
awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Any other questions? If you have any ideas, let me know. All right, thanks. Thank you.
Do you know if there's a cap amount on the tickets still? Do they still do that? Like if,
But I don't remember what it is.
no, like it's like,
Somebody
You-
ever redeemed your.
yes,
choice.
like 20% or something like that. It's what,
I
25?
think it's only 25%,
Okay,
up to a certain number.
yeah. Okay, cool. Exciting. We have some mortgage updates from our A+ people. Are you
just
gonna
a couple.
minus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Couple of things I just wanted to go over. One of the things that I don't know if you guys are aware of is Muskego is requiring any seller or buyer to connect to their water system. That is a mandate now, so you have to do it. Just want to keep you guys involved in that, because if it does come up, we are going to require that they do it. So will every other lender, because the city of Muskego is requiring it. So if they're able to connect to water, they must connect to it. And that is just something that just started about a week and a half ago.
February 1st.
February 1st is the start on it.
January 31st.
Yes, yes. One other thing too, Scott,
Just a question on that, do you know, like, how much of Muskego is not, is that like a big amount of Muskego, do you know?
they're
or-
coming up with a map. They haven't developed the map yet. When we get the map, we can send it out. We can
As
forward
an
it out.
old Muskego resident, the 8 subdivisions that are like between 12 and like 25 years old are the ones that haven't. Any new subdivision within the last 5 years, it's already cooked up. So
Okay.
like the higher end ones, like you guys are familiar, take Moreland all the way, when you go into like Little Mosquito Lake, that's already all hooked up. But it's just the old subdivisions that are probably 20, 25, 30 years old. The really old ones are fine. It's just the kind of in between ones.
How much is that approximately?
It
Okay,
varies on
you
length.
know? Well, you mentioned it before. Oh, okay.
It varies by length depending on the distance from the house to the street.
Yeah.
And if it's on the other side of the street, then it's even more expensive because they've got to take more of the road out. I would try to say maybe as a guesstimate, 10.
And there's a special.
Yeah.
People do it. One was 12. One was 16.
Oh, really weird.
Okay. So I would budget a
It's
minimum,
a teen, I'd say the teens to be
yeah,
safe.
to be on the safe side. Yeah.
I had a Brookfield house and it was like 6,000 or 7,000, so I think it's just depends.
I think it
Yeah.
depends. So it depends on where the city ended and then where you gotta pick up. Cause sometimes they end right at the curb, sometimes they maybe go a little bit further in.
So that it's just something to keep an eye on when you're looking at a listing in Muskego. Find out if they're connected to water, and if they aren't, and if they are on a well, make sure that they can get hooked up, or if they can't, then you're great. The map will be coming out shortly, and I'm thinking a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, we'll probably see that, and we can have that ready for you guys. Rates have been pulling back. I just locked in a loan this morning at 6%. Which has been great. The PPI, the producer price index, is coming out tomorrow. Retail sales, business inventories, and mortgage applications are all coming out tomorrow. And we think that will be very strong. And we may see a little bit of a rate drop tomorrow. I'm not sure how long that's going to hold, but that's what we're hoping for. So maybe we can get back down into the 5s. One of the things that I touched on in the last meeting was the 2-1 buy downs. I am shocked that no one's reached out to us. I'm totally shocked by that. If you have clients who are thinking about price reductions, talk to them about a 2-1 buy down. It's on a $500,000 purchase with 20% down. Only the loan amount is subject to the buy down cost. It's $8,873. I can't imagine that a buyer, if they're going to drop prices, is going to drop 10 grand. Now, the other thing is too, if they drop that 10 grand, you get paid commission on that? No. If you do a buy down, you still get paid commission on that $8,000, and you're getting a better deal. The
problem with that though is that it's not going to move it into a different price bracket.
It doesn't do that, but is it? Yeah, I get that. The 2-1 buy down though, on a buyer's payment on that same loan, yeah. It's a great selling point if you've got a seller to do it. Take a look at that, at least try it for a couple of weeks. The payment drop on that from 6 to 4 is $431 a month. Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of surprised we're not getting any more information, or nobody's even asking us. I mean, I have had literally no phone calls on this.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with Nate. It's absolutely an incredible program. It makes sense financially, but to be able to quickly be able to communicate that from a marketing or advertising standpoint with a listing is damn near impossible. I mean, you can include some information
In remarks.
in the remarks or add documents in the MLS, but when you do a price modification, it plays with the algorithms, it hits inboxes,
No, I get it.
it taps into different buyer tools, so.
And that goes by pools too. I mean, if you're if you're at 490 and you're dropping to 480, it's probably not going to hit a lot of those. It depends on the price point. If you're going to from 510 to 500, yeah, I totally get it. It's going to hit everybody's, because that 10 grand is now going to pop in everybody that's looking between 450 and 500 or 4 to 500. But if you've got a situation where you're only where the seller doesn't want to drop a ton and they only want to do a small amount, and it may not affect those hits, which you guys are talking about, which I totally understand. And even when I talk to people about stuff, I always tell them, yeah, go to that increment, go to that number so that you're getting the most amount of hits and the most amount of visibility. But it's still a great option. And if you can put down something in comments that it could save your buyer $431 a month their first year, that's a huge advantage. And it's also commissionable, which also helps you guys. So if it's not going to be an incremental big price break, but they wanted to do something, it's a great thing to throw into remarks. I work with a few of the builders, and they're doing those, and they're getting some good. I'm getting at least 2-3 deals a week just from a couple of builders that we're working with on that. That's really what's driving it.
The strategy could be to do both. You know, you could drop it $5,000, you get reblasted
Yep,
everyone,
into the blast.
and then you would put it right there. You know, do
Yeah.
this like.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, so maybe I'm just not understanding it, but you're saying listing. You can offer this, but if you are on the seller side, are you offering this to all of the buyers coming in? If they are already coming in with a different lender?
Most lenders can do this. If not, hey, we're here. Have them refer to us.
But yes, it's a seller incentive for the buyer.
Yep, it's a seller incentive for the buyer.
Correct.
The seller's covering that cost, but in a lot of cases, I'm finding that it's a lot cheaper for them to do that than it is for them. And if you're doing open house sheets, maybe put that on your open house sheets. You know, save $431 on this payment at this purchase price with 20% down. It could be a huge selling point. And it's something that they're going to go to another house and look at, and that same price point. And it's $431 a month in their payment first year. I mean, that can really flip a buyer one way or the other. When they're looking at houses and they'll look at your listing versus somebody else. It's a great selling point. It's something I think that we're not getting enough traction on, and we maybe should be more talking about that. Any other questions on that? They're on a test. Cool. They're on a test.
Rate drop.
Yes.
Do you do that after it's one buy down?
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the advantages to the 2-1 buy down on the refinance program is that, okay, on this specific program, it's $8,873 to do the buy down. Let's say 6 months from now, 7 months from now, they do the free refinance, and they've only used $2,400 of that $8,000. The buyer actually gets a credit for $6,000 on their payoff. So their payoff amount just dropped $6,000 because that money is held in escrow and used every month. And even though the seller's gotten it to them, it's kind of an incentive, and they get that full credit back to their payoff. And we're doing the no closing costs refinance where we're covering those costs and we're not bumping up rates to do.
And the buyer can still use that money because it's still the buyer's money to maybe buy down the points a little further after the fact, or cover their fees of, you know, escrows or whatever the case. So that money is still the buyer's money.
Yep, still the buyer's money. And that we haven't done any yet because we haven't had that window yet that we've gone through. But that's a nice selling point too. And that's something we are informing the buyers of when we're doing these 2-1 buyouts, when we're talking to them. Hey, here's another little advantage that we have. And they don't, like, they pay points, those points are gone at close. You pay points, you're paying 2 points at closing to buy down your rate. That money's gone. If you refinance 6 months from now, you're out that $10,000. Where with this, they're not. So it's a nice option.
Where is that window for where refinances are going to start being a good idea for?
We're looking between 6 and 12 months.
Okay.
Is that sweet spot for us? Because we don't have to do a new appraisal. We can recertify the existing appraisal. which works.
I'm just talking like on the
But
existing
also-
rate environment.
Also where I think I heard where you're going with that is 1 point is the rule of thumb.
Okay.
So, but it depends. If you're looking at a $200,000 loan, you're probably gonna need like 1.5.
Okay.
If you're looking at 550, you're probably looking at 3/4 of a point. But really, but rule of thumb is 1%.
I'm just looking for my people
Yeah.
that bought like late summer, fall.
I would use a
Right.
point, but we'll do them for less than once our 6-month window from those points expires, and they can save 3/4 of a point. And we're doing the no closing cost refinance. It could be a value for them to do it. And we're putting those in our databases to take care of your clients. There's a lot of things that A+ does that other lenders don't do to help their clients out, and we monitor things very, very closely. To help your clients.
All about the cost savings
Yep.
and just doing the math. If, let's say they can recuperate let's say they're paying full fees, they recuperate that within 12 months. That's another, and that could not be a full point. That's what I'm saying. It just depends on the math. But we do that analysis for them to make sure that
Yeah,
it makes sense.
We do it at close. We put them into our database. This is their target refinance number. And when rates hit that, we automatically, my system tells me, and then boom, I'm sending out an email or calling them saying, hey, this is what you want to do. And I don't know a lot of lenders do.
Any other questions? Yes. We're in the 6 right now.
Yep. I locked in one this morning at 6.
Right at 6.
Yep.
And we're looking at that's top tier, so great credit.
Yep.
At least 5% down situations. With the credit, and what we consider top credit is 740 and above. So if somebody a little bit less than that, you're gonna might see a little bit of a change.
But they're heading the right direction. Yeah. They're definitely heading the right direction. Anybody else? Otherwise, our 10 minutes are up. Cool. Always feel free to stop in. Thanks, guys.
I handed out candy to some of you. Some of you did not get candy. Oh, thank you. Like,
I was honestly looking for.
Bad, right? Don't guess asking people if they want to come to garden show tickets, because that's how you make them feel. Oh. Don't get somebody.
I'll drop the mic. Drop
There's candy on the counter.
Is it free or complimentary?
I saw two shopping at the right place.
Funny.
That's
All
the
right.
place, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Now, on a more serious note, here's Dawn Shipley.
I'm just talking about opportunities today, so nothing too exciting. So a good way to think about opportunities, I think some of you guys know this and you've heard this before, but a good way to think about the documents that are in opportunities, it's kind of as if if our office were just doing paper, it would be the file cabinet, and that's where everything is kept. So as a brokerage, we have a responsibility to keep copies of all of your contracts. So that's why you have to submit your opportunities so that we're in compliance with what we need to be doing as a brokerage. So you guys know for a listing, how long after you sign your listing do you have to have it submitted in your opportunity? 48 hours, right? 48 hours. Wait, how long was it? Thank you. Okay. And then if you have an accepted offer, how long do you have to submit that accepted offer? 10 days. Awesome. So Sarah has seen some kind of repeat offenders of people not getting things turned in on time. So we have the carrot, which is the home run club. So you get to know that you guys have done what you're supposed to be doing because you submitted your opportunities. But for some people, it seems the carrot is not working. So we're talking about the stick today. So you get the stick. If you are not submitting your listing contract within 48 hours and your accepted offer contracts within 10 days, there is going to be a donation made that you're going to make from your closing to KW Cares Local. So it's from your own check that's coming out. And if it's not submitted prior to closing, it's gonna be a $200 donation that you get to make. So we, KW Cares Local appreciates your donation. For those of you who are new to KW. So, and I think some of you probably know if you've had an issue with this before. I don't think it should be a surprise. If this is your first closing with KW, if you're new to the office, if you're a new agent, fines are not going to be enforced for that situation. So if this is your first closing, like, and you're submitting everything for the first time, do not worry. But just know that the goal is to get that submitted on time by the time you're comfortable getting those submitted. And if you need resources for getting those submitted, feel free to reach out to compliance at any time. We're happy to help you, make sure you've got everything you need to get that done. So that way you can still make a donation to KW Cares Local, but we'd rather you do it your own choosing versus doing that, mandatory. So
You could also do like a wall of shame too.
we could. That would be really good. That would be great. Oh,
Everybody has to pick.
what's that? Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you. So the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is just kind of a reminder that we've got a really great resource in our office of the One Spot for Resources. And if some of you may know, some of you may not know, there's actually a folder in here called Contracts and Forms. So there is any contracts that you might need for your opportunities, anything you might need for writing a contract. It's all in here, and the forms are fillable too. So if you, for some reason, would prefer to you can download these forms, you can fill them out, you can still send them for e-signature, you can print them. So they're all in here. We work on keeping them updated. The thing to know about this though, is that this is not something that you should just share a document for a client from here. What you should do instead is if you go in and you say, well, I'm looking for a KW Milwaukee Southwest form, and I need to send out the affiliated business arrangement, I'm gonna get this to them. So maybe I want to download this and I'm gonna have them sign it. Don't share this from here. You need to, because the only people who have access to the forms in the One Spot are agents in our office. So this should never be shared with anybody directly. You should download the document and send it from there. You can save it on your own drive if you want to, but not from our office's drive. And if for some reason you realize that you don't have access to this, just about everybody should, but if you realize you don't have access to it, just reach out to Allison.
Sure,
Anybody?
anyone on Yale Board,
Okay.
sure.
Okay, can make sure that you have access to that, because there's a lot of cool resources in general. Scott started with One Spot. It's a great resource.
I would just say there's two forms of access. There's
Yep.
viewing access and there's editable access. No one will ever have editable access. Because if you edit it, it changes it for everyone. Viewing access, which means you can download it, you can copy it, and then edit it from there. Because I used to get like 10 editing requests a week. And I would just reply back, no, just make a copy. Because if that makes sense to people. So you don't need to ask them, can I edit this? Because everything you can copy and then it's yours. The library. Yes.
Anything else? No. Okay.
Yeah.
I could.
You don't want editing rights that you mess up forms.
Yes. By accident.
I'm not talking about myself at all. All right, and now we have Charlie coming to give us a market center update.
What's up, guys? I don't have anything overly PowerPointy or data heavy to present to you today. No quotes. It was a heavy quote late last week. So a couple things. I just wanted to give you guys an update as to like everything that's been going on and allow you an opportunity to just ask questions of me. Is that fair? And I think it's important too, because I've gotten a lot of questions like, transition. I think it's important too for me to review timelines of things because there's been so much change in a short amount of time. And for me, it's like drinking from a fire hose, right? Because one of the things I've said when Scott transitioned first and then him It's more so of like, I want to make sure I protect and preserve the culture and the environment that is this place. And not making leadership hires because we're just looking for someone with a pulse and also like, it's totally different than what it is that you guys expect of us, right? And I think more so, you know, Scott and I worked through a transition really of like understanding the day-to-day of what he does for about 30 to 60 days, like September, October. And then Kim came to me in November and was like, hey, I think I'm ready to move on. So like right as I figured out, okay, here's kind of the cadence to this place, then Kim steps out and I'm like, okay, now I got to figure out that role too. So, and Kim was very gracious to give us through the end of the year. So then Kim and I, Kelly worked closely to figure out the day-to-day, you know, for 30 or 60 days just to figure out that role, right? Then the holidays hits for 2 weeks. And everyone kind of goes on a hiatus, and then we come back the first week of January and everybody's like, so what's the game plan? What's the game plan? What's the game plan? Truth is, I'm trying to figure that out. Like, totally honest with you, a lot of people have raised their hands, and I'm really gracious and grateful for like those that have raised their hands. I've talked to a ton of people. A lot of people have been interested in the role. And as I said in the very beginning, I'll be very picky and I'll be very patient. Because I wanted to, like, I owe that to you to make sure that we're bringing somebody in from a leadership standpoint for this place and what it means moving forward. And we're sitting here on January 16th and effectively we're like 2 weeks into it. And so having said all that, like, I'm just being totally I don't have all the answers to it today. I just know where it is that we're desired to be. And as Kelly and I, Michelle and Allison and Brooke have been working every single day to serve you, hopefully you see that and feel that impact. That's our main focus, to make sure that there's minimal disruption in your business and the way in which we can serve you, which is also the reason why we brought in Kathleen Wooten now, who's helping out. We've brought in Lindsay Vranick in the background, helping out. And other people and things in the background that you may not see or feel. And that's just the way in which that we want to create minimal disruption while also making sure that we're doing our due diligence. Find a great leader that's has a servant mentality and cares deeply about getting to know you and how to serve you at the highest level. And I just wanted you, like, I didn't really have any major updates today. I figured it'd be good to offer you guys where kind of we're at effectively in that process. And to allow you guys the opportunity to like either give me feedback or ask me questions, like total spitball. One other update for you guys too. Real quick, because I see Charisse. Anybody else on 2023 ALC? Zach, thank you. Sorry, there's more of you. Everyone. Yeah. No.
Sorry, people are saying that they can't see us.
We hosted last week, Thursday, everyone, minus Alex, who was down in Glover U. We hosted the ALC kickoff with all 4 market centers. I'll kind of let these guys, I don't know, thoughts, feelings, feedback to how last week went.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. Like having the economist there was really awesome and super informative. And I think it helped just maybe with some of the fear and potentially panic that could happen in the real estate market. So having those updates was really great, and just appreciated also forcing us out of our comfort zones and putting us at other tables with other people from market centers. I had like hot flashes for the first like 30 minutes because of it. But it was awesome. And I made a lot of really great connections with people I would not have otherwise connected with or been like shaking in my boots to connect with. And so I have some things set up with those people in the future to just stay in touch and pick their brains. And so that was also really awesome. I appreciated that.
Anything else? Chipley, you're never at a loss for words. Yeah.
You never sent us the.
I'm doing it today.
Oh, perfect.
I just haven't had a chance to recap slides. So for those of you who are wondering, what are we talking about? The reason why I asked these guys just be like, hey, we hosted ALC, right? Was more so for the rest of the group to say, to show you guys too, that like, we're still doing all the things that you expected from a KW experience. Like ALC is still going on. There's things going on in the background. We provided these guys an opportunity to connect with Mark Eppley, who runs the University of Wisconsin-Madison's School of Real Estate, which is the #1 real estate school in the country. And he spoke to these guys for 2 hours on a wide variety of topics of trying to give them a crystal ball as to what's going on. So I more so of just wanted to say, hey, look, if you have feedback, if you have thoughts, questions, answers, if you have people that you know that are interested, like please raise your hand. And it was important for me to give you the timeline so that you could understand that we weren't trying to rush anything. It was important for me to get grounded here to best understand the temperature and the pulse of the place before I went out and started saying, what is it that we're looking for? I wasn't quite sure. Like I didn't know what we were looking for until I had an opportunity to get a sense for the environment, to feel for the environment on a daily basis. So I just wanted to give you guys that update or ask any questions. Yeah, Zach.
Mark Eppley said something that near the top of the thing wasn't scripted. That rattled in my head for the rest of the day and up somewhere else. But it was really emphasized what was going on in the room. That, okay, you have the best strategy, but if you don't have the best people to implement it, or not working on the same page, or not working together, then the strategy will not work. Whereas, we have the right people, we have people who are working together, and that was, I believe, having not just our office, but having the other offices together, is that we're moving together as one. We're stronger together. All the cliches we all love to repeat here, but it's true. We say that stuff a lot because it works, because it's real. And so that was just the thing that I was keeping in my back of my head the entire whatever last 5 days. Together.
Yeah. Any feedback for me? Anything? And yeah, Catherine.
Another thing, is every Keller Williams office has a very different. And certainly somebody, and we were talking about how sure seems like like if we had to pick a vision, that's what we would say about the shore.
What did you say?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
yeah. Maybe because it's by the water, maybe because it's got some very big players. But what was critical in that statement was that we all do have very different identities in our market centers, but we all believe the same thing. We're all in the game to win and to learn and to bring a positive mindset to the real estate industry. That's a really
And to give context to the group, on Thursday when we all got together, downtown at the Wisconsin Club. There were 60 people in the room, and there were 10 tables of 6. And at each table of 6, there was never more. We kind of forced seating assignments. We didn't allow more than 3 people from one market center to be at the same table. And then we also grouped them based on kind of current productivity or projected productivity, so that there was like-minded conversations being had across different geographic locations. And I think Mark's point, Mark was the first speaker of the day. And for the first 30 minutes of the day, it was just everyone came in the room. There was a lot of noise in the room, and there was a lot of culture, or there was a lot of conversation in the room. And that was the goal. The goal was to create a melting pot of people and to say, yes, our cultures or environments may be different by our geographical locations, but our core principles, our belief system is ultimately the thing. And how we create those connections is the purpose behind what the ALC is of bringing the group together. So. Cool. Anything else? Feedback, comments?
I thought I saw Alex there. Alex is there.
He was all in.
He's everywhere.
All right, I have one other request. Give him a shout.
No.
Okay, so she's probably gonna kill me for saying this. But Michelle's had a little bit of a tough time the last couple weeks from some health standpoint. And she's been in a lot of pain. And I could use one favor. Is if you can do me a favor at some point today, either text her. Text her is probably the easiest, just not to get excited. I was gonna say, or call her, but I don't want to overwhelm her. She can take a text when she's ready to take a text. If you would just do me a favor and shoot her a text, let her know that you are thinking about her. I think would mean the world to her, because knowing Michelle, she keeps a lot of things in and she tries to shield, I think, the rest of the group, because she's always trying to play mama bear for the group. And I think sometimes that can get overwhelming for people. And I think the power of this room, this group of people, show that kind of positivity and energy towards her to say, hey, look, you are always there for us. We want to be there for you. I think would go a long way. And if you need her number, I'll write it up on the board quick. Just herself.
So is she currently officially on leave just for a certain period of time, or?
It's day by day, to be honest. And I got to give Allison a ton of credit. Like, this popped up last week and we've dealt with it day by day, right? And we've pulled in, just so you guys know too, like, because we're in the middle of 1099 season to get you all your tax documents, everything. Jen and Emily, who sit in the North Shore office, have been doing all the Southwest stuff in the background in order to alleviate any sort of pressure or stress. Allison or Michelle, help them to ensure that we continue to do what you expect of us in the background. But Allison's been jumped in, and Rachel, to be honest, like I text with Michelle in the morning or we speak at night, and then it's kind of a day by day situation. She's having some extreme pain down her legs, which it doesn't allow her to really stand or sit for a period of time. So. All right, here's her number if you don't have it. 262-391-4932. Just let her know you're thinking about her. And I would sincerely appreciate it. She looks out for a lot of us in ways in which that people don't see it every day. Cool. Anything else for me? Again, comments, feedback, if you want to meet one-on-one, I'm totally open to it. I don't have all the answers. I'm just trying to help shepherd the group forward and help us find a great leader. Cool. Awesome. That's all I got for today. Yeah.
All right. So just a really quick update. We do have the NAREP president in the house. So if you'd like to attend the gala installation, do you want to talk a little bit about NAREP and what it is?
Do you want me to come up?
Or just stand?
So NAREP is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. Our mission is to help Latinos gain sustainable home ownership. And the way that we do that is through networking with other realtors, lenders, title companies, inspectors, all sorts of industry professionals to kind of get them to the finish line. So really it's not, how do I want to say this? Like, our clients don't really know what NAREP is, but industry professionally we do. So we try to work together, bring people together, create events where we have really good content So for this particular event, I'm working on bringing someone in to talk about commercial real estate. We have Mo Simmons from Exit Realty, and she is the president of Women's Council. She will be our MC for the event. Jose Perez, Alderman, will be doing the installation of our new board. So it's gonna be a really great event. It's gonna be at Vista. We're gonna have some great music, great food, and this is our official installation of myself as the president. I have been part of NAREC since 2019. We started right before the pandemic, and we had all these in-person events planned and got canceled, and we had to do everything virtually. And in our first year, we raised $25,000 just doing virtual events. So this is like my baby, and this is kind of my final year with them. So I really want to have a good year. I really want to create some great networking opportunities for everyone. I really want to bring value and some really good content. I want people to walk away from our events and say, wow, like I took something away that I didn't learn, that I didn't know before. So hopefully you guys can attend. It's $100 for non-members, $50 for members. If you're not a member, you can pay the $49 member fee and then the $50 admission, and then you'll be a member for the whole year and you can come to all of it. If you guys need any information about membership or signing up, please let me know.
Thanks and congratulations.
Well, and also congratulations to Kelly, who is going to be our events director.
Nice.
Yeah, I got voluntold. Okay, so I'm trying to move this. Okay, so don't forget we have marketing masterminds that are on Thursday. The next one is January 19th, which is database management. They call it marketing masterminds, but it's really command. You can do so much with command. So they're really focusing on the marketing aspect of it. So please attend. Those are on Zoom and they are on the calendar as well. And then our upcoming Ignite, if you are a part of Ignite or not a part of Ignite and want to see James Krickerberg talk on Wednesday, just come on up and we'll just watch him and boo and heckle him. And then Wednesday, January 18th at 2, we also have unique pricing strategies. Just wanted to remind you guys, it's in the Lake Country training room, so feel free to join that. And then our Maureen and Friends on Friday, January 20th for Zoom. It's open to everyone this time, so come and see what the hubbub is about. And there's no dress code for the holiday party. Please come dressed. And let me know what you're gonna wear because I have no idea. So don't forget it's Friday, and whoever said they were coming, we're looking forward to seeing you. And then Kyle is hosting a Bold 100 again on the 26th. So please join him to make all your calls. And lunch is provided, so don't forget to RSVP so that you get actually food and happy hour. We have to apply them with drinks. So, and then don't forget about family reunion as well. That's pretty much all we have. Does anybody have any upcoming listings, excluded listings, buyer needs, anything that you want to share?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, mine, right? Okay.
Okay, so unfortunately, you guys missed the boat on a couple. Right, we launched our Menominee Falls listing and our West Dallas listing, both had multiple offers. We're asking if your buyers could have scooped it up. All right, here we go. We've got a 5-bed, 2 full bath tri-level on 1.6 acres with a full barn in Caledonia, going live next week. Right now it's at 389.9. We've got a 4-bed, 2.5 bath colonial on North 22nd Street in the market in about 3 weeks. That's listed at 219.9. I've got a 3-bed, 1.5 bath, 1,700 square foot bungalow in Milwaukee with a 4-car garage. Anyone wants that? After it. And then just locked down last night a fully updated, renovated HGTV, move-in ready, 4-bed, 2 full bath ranch in South Milwaukee with a finished basement. So please let us know. All of these are available. All of these sellers are willing to entertain fair and reasonable offers prior to going on the MLS. Once we launch it, we'll probably generate multiple offers.
Anyone else? Yeah, so
I mentioned this one before, but it's a off market property. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, nice finished basement. It's a ranch house on 58 just south of Howard in Milwaukee. So they need some flexibility. They're big time because they're trying to figure out where they're going next. So I have somebody, and I have some photos. Just yeah, maybe you can the opportunity. Well, if it goes in the market, it'll probably be around 180. But they're flexible.
yes,
I need a duplex, 2/2 filled or one shot.
anyone have duplexes coming up in that area? Let Amy know. Anything else? No? Okay, this concludes your meeting.
Nice job.
Excuse me.